We digress. Hello. Welcome to Smut Swap. I'm Brittany.
I'm Kelly. Hello.
We got tattoos today.
We did. We called off work to go get Friday the 13th tattoos.
Well, I actually called off work because I got locked out of my house.
Oh, yes.
But Kelly took a half day so
I
we could go
did.
get tattoos. And we were in and out of there in less than an hour.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
They opened at noon. We were out at 12:58.
Yep. And my guy didn't start tattooing me until I feel like 12:30.
Yeah. Same.
He was fast.
Oh, no, it was a little bit after you. But mine
Yeah.
was tiny, so
And mine's in color
you can show.
because
Check us out on YouTube to
because they love me there. I'll input clips of our tattoos here.
Yeah.
Kelly will send me a picture of hers so that I can show it off.
Yes. I cropped out my old lady skin, so you're welcome in advance.
I got color and he didn't charge me extra. And you know what? That's on having a dedicated person at a dedicated shop.
Yes.
He loves me there.
Yes.
Because I tip well.
You do.
I do. I almost handed him a 50 and I was like, no,
I saw
need
you
that.
and I was like,
I
wow.
need that. I need that. I gave him 40.
You're like, wait, I need this to pay.
I need this to pay.
Because Kelly and Brenna took my cash.
But they paid me back. It's fine.
Yes.
Okay, so you might recall that we left off talking about the Dark Side books 1 and 2. Today we're talking about the Dark Side books 3 and 4. But first, as always,
If you listen to the last podcast, my books have not changed. I am reading Carl's Doomsday Scenario. I'm almost done. I'm on the epilogue right before I turned onto your street.
Oh.
I stopped it. I'm like, all right, I'll listen to the epilogue on the drive home.
exciting. Okay.
And then, what's the other one?
The Fake Boyfriend Fiasco
I am going to finish that
on the
I'm
cruise.
hoping Sunday or on the way down for the cruise.
Okay.
And that's it.
Okay, and I finished one of the books that we're going to talk about in here today last night, and because of the way that my day was going today, I haven't started anything yet, but I am planning on starting once Kelly goes home.
Once I leave this place.
I'm starting Overruled by Lana Ferguson. Elizabeth told me it's about these two like opposing lawyers, and I was like, enemies to lovers?
Oh.
Yes. Sign me up. I need that. And I hope that it's raunchy. Because this one just edged me the whole time. These ones, they just edged me the whole
just
time.
edged.
They weren't so spicy as I was hoping. Because when you advertise me a reverse harem, all I expect is constant sex.
But this is like boyfriend, girlfriend.
Boyfriends and girlfriend.
Oh, yeah. Boyfriends, girlfriend.
Boyfriends and girlfriends. Okay, so like, subscribe, follow us on Spotify. I am passing out bookmarks at the airports that I'll be in tomorrow. And I'm also passing out bookmarks in Virginia Beach. So
Oh, that's smart. I'll do it on the cruise.
you should
I'll just hand them to people.
hand them to old ladies that you see reading.
Like, here.
Here's something for you. Check us out. Wink at them too. Anyway.
I think one of the boys, I think he's 18. He's an adult. I think his girlfriend is also going on the cruise, and she's an avid spicy reader. So
She's an adult,
she's an adult,
just to be clear.
not a teen.
I mean, she is a teen.
She might be 18, but
she
she's a
is
legal teen.
She is an adult. So we'll give her a card too.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's jump on in.
Okay.
The first book that we're covering today is called Two Kingdoms by Kristy Cunning. Oh. Okay. So I don't remember where we left off. If you're curious, go watch the first episode.
Wait, and what were the other two?
It was 4 Psychos, 3 Trials,
Okay.
2 Kingdoms.
Oh.
So we're counting down.
And then One Apocalypse?
One Apocalypse is the next book.
Got it.
Okay. Here we go.
Okay.
So, we're kicking it off with our girl getting down to business, striking up a deal with the devil, because that's where we left off. She wants permission for her and her boys to come and go in and out of hell as they please, access to hell's library, and a myriad of other things, but the devil is not so quick to just give her what she wants, even though she is his favorite child. He presents her with a sword and reminds her that deception is not something that she is good at all. If she wants to strike her deal, she has to stab him first, then she has to get the sword into his body to the hilt. So she can't just be like, it has to go all the way in.
Not just the tip.
Yeah, all the way in. All or nothing.
The whole shaft.
The whole shaft of the sword. A very brief fight ensues in which the devil appears to have the upper hand, but eventually Paka, which again, I just cannot get over Parker, Paca.
Paca.
Paca ultimately bests him. We learn that she would have had all of her negotiations anyway, and the devil just really and truly loves to fuck with her, so that's why he was like, you can have it all, but you gotta beat me first. So she gives him her back and gets the hell out of hell.
Ooh, get the hell out of hell.
Obviously, when she gets back home, her boys are understandably pissed. Before she goes to see them, she decides to bake some cookies, and then she zaps up to her room where Kai and Jude are lying on the bed, glaring at her. Ezekiel comes up behind her. Ezekiel and Gage come up behind her with their arms crossed, and they're pissed as shit that she attempted to kill the devil while they were not there to protect her.
How dare you?
Because they have a god complex.
Of course they do. They're men.
They're men. This is when she tells them that she changed her mind about killing him, and also that she's able to control Lamar, which is prefaced by Jude telling her that he's going to kill Lamar. He's like, I'm going to kill Lamar for sending us away, because Lamar was like, get out, and zapped the boys out of hell, and then she went to see the devil. So Jude's like, I'm going to kill him. And she's like, hey, but before you do that, I am able to control what Lamar does. So maybe we don't do that.
Let's take it down a notch.
Let's take it down just a few. She explains her deal with the devil. And though they're furious with her, they do point out that they don't think Lucifer is the one who killed them in their most recent past life. She agrees with them and tells them that she bested her father at fencing, which shocks them on both accounts. I think that I meant that she was able to strike a deal and that she bested him in a sword fight.
Okay.
So she then tells the boys that she's going to go read more of their history because the guys were much hotter in their past lives, and adds for us that she's working out a theory she has that can make everything way more complicated. But why would she tell us that?
They were hotter in their past lives.
Yeah. She's like,
all this? It's okay.
It's not really doing it for me, but the past you's way hotter. It's because the past them like succumb to her every whim, and these ones resist her like hard. So she and Kai are up in her room and she's reading over one of the books. He is actually featuring heavily in the chapter that she's reading, in which they are Vikings. She doesn't ever call them by their Viking names in this history, so she only refers to Kai as Conquest, which is the horseman that he is in this chapter. As she's reading about all the filthy, sexy things that they would do, Kai tries to get with her again, and she tells him that she won't be doing that, even though he is her current favorite, because it's not fair to the other guys who haven't had her as many times as Kai has. Because Kai has had her twice, and the other guys have only had her once.
Oh.
Yeah, remember? They've only had sex once.
Oh, yeah.
In that group.
I forgot.
That group setting. The other guys come in and obviously catch Kai trying to get down to business with her. So they yell at him. She zaps into the bathroom, turns her shower on, at which point they leave to go have a conversation, but she turns into a phantom so that she can go and eavesdrop on them. It's like, did you forget that they can also see you while you're still a phantom? But
Come
whatever.
on, girl.
I guess it's quieter than walking down the stairs. The conversation that they have is largely about plans that they have to make now that they have access to hell. She goes back up and has her shower, and when she comes out, instead of going phantom to automatically dry herself off, she decides to use a towel and do it the good old-fashioned way. When she comes out of her bathroom, somebody grabs a hold of her, and she has to stifle a scream, but then she realizes that it's just Ezekiel, and he's here to help her fulfill a fantasy. As he hits it from behind...
Oh my gosh!
Gage comes into the room and watches them, and I was like, good God, y'all are fucking freaks.
Dang.
She's able to get one of her arms out of this like grip that Ezekiel has on her, and she reaches out to help herself along for the cause, at which point Ezekiel flips her over onto her back and continues to ravish her. Gage asks him if he's going to be able to join in, and she's confused about if he's going to be able to, and she's confused about what he's talking about. But then Ezekiel finishes, and she's like, oh, right, because until her, the guys could only have a collective orgasm. So she was like, Gage was like, are you going to? And then he finishes, and she's like, oh, yeah, I forgot. They can only finish individually when they're with me. He doesn't immediately withdraw, and it almost seems like he's trying to work himself up for round 2 while he's still inside of her, at which point Jude comes in, and Jude tells Ezekiel to get his dick out of her because they got an invitation, and they all have to put their blood on it to read what it's going to say.
Oh, my gosh.
And I was like, what?
Get your dick out of her.
Get your dick out of her.
We got shit to do.
Also, Jude's just really grumpy at all times.
Okay.
The invitation
sounds like
is
a Jude type of thing.
Yeah, I don't know any Judes.
J names, you know.
We do.
You know.
You know. The invitation is obviously from the devil, who is inviting them to this gala, which is black tie and not optional. He wants to present his children as a united front, and Paka needs to be there front and center with her siblings. So I guess that's what they're going to be doing in the next chapter. Paka. As it turns out, Paka went to hell by herself and found Lamar to have a little chat about what's been going on. Somehow, I need to spit my gum out. Sorry. It's like disintegrating into my mouth. I hate it when that happens.
I hate that.
Okay, so somehow talk gets around to who was actually her first in this lifetime, and she's like, I think it was Gage, because she doesn't know. She had the blindfold on.
Oh, yeah.
And he seems really surprised that she only thinks that it was somebody and doesn't actually know. He's like, why would you give them your power like that? He tells her that the old her would never have allowed this to happen because it basically gives the men more power than her. And she tells him she's just working to be equal to them. And I was like, first of all, girl, we are better than them. You are
Yes.
literal hellspawn. You're better than them.
Yes. You're the daughter of the devil.
Literally, the devil, the Lucifer.
Embrace your power.
Then she asks him who he thinks went first, since he knew them all in a previous lifetime. And he's like, I don't know. I didn't know. I wasn't like watching. So she tells him to tell Lucifer that she will not be in attendance at the party tonight. She says, I'm not going to show my face at the party tonight. And that's because she stabbed him in the gut, and a deal's a deal, before she goes back up topside where she finds Kai, who wants to know where the hell she went.
Oh, gosh.
So she's like, let me distract him by kissing him. And he goes to grab 2 handfuls of her ass. And she tells him that he's still not her favorite before she goes into her phantom form again. And he calls her a tease. Then they go find the others to ask them what the real plan is for tonight. So like 4 or 5 men end up approaching the house to escort this quintet to hell. They inform the group that they're to bring them all to hell at once. And once the 5 are properly masked, because remember, Paka promised that she wouldn't show her face in hell. So he's like, put your mask on and you'll be down here because I said so. Once they're in hell, one of the escorts tries to cop a feel on Paka and tells her that she should know better than to disrespect an elder of hell. And she's like, well, if you would have told me that you were an elder, I wouldn't be disrespecting you. And then she kills him.
Oh, gosh.
And then she goes to find her guys. Jude tells her that he hopes she feels better with a kill under her belt, and then she notices that they've all swapped masks that she initially had picked out for them because she's vindictive and she's mad at them. So she like gave Ezekiel a pink mask and like Kai a red one and Jude a black one, but she purposefully gave the guys masks that were not their favorite colors, and then they switched to what their favorite colors were.
Of course.
She and Jude end up dancing while they talk about how killing a random dude isn't the cure to making her less cranky. Obviously, orgasms are the cure for being.
Cure.
Yeah. Eventually, Kai ends up making his way to her, and then she sees her sister Hera, who I don't think I've mentioned at any point, but Hera is one of the sisters, and she, I think, is the embodiment of lust.
Okay.
Because the siblings are all each a 7 deadly sin. So she's lust. And she's standing next to Ezekiel with a predatory look in her eye. And Paka's like, not my Ezekiel.
He's mine.
One thing about Hera that's important to note is that she has been known to try to steal Paka's men. So Paka is instantly jealous, turns into a phantom, gets right between Ezekiel and her sister before finally going whole again. And her sister's like, bah!
Where'd you come from?
Eventually, Gage finds her and tells her that if she needs him to help her with anything, to just let him know when she's like, not right now. He's like, maybe later. And then she makes her way. Maybe later sexually. And then she makes her way into this hallway that has all of her siblings' accomplishments like lined up in paintings. And it's all human histories. She calls it the Sick Hall of Fame.
Oh.
Yeah, because it's all like disgusting. Like
bad things that have happened. Like death and murder and famine, probably.
Yep. And then this is where she sees that her father has restored the photos of her as Cleopatra, along with a whole bunch of other photographs of her and her siblings. At this point, the devil comes up to her. They start talking about how she doesn't remember anything, and it's clear that he's trying to say things that will help jog her memory, but it's not working. And he says that this is because she gave parts of herself to the 4 men to ensure that they stayed alive throughout all time. But they would have stayed alive regardless whether she had cut herself apart for them, because he would have kept them in Hell's black heart and kept them alive for her. We learn that after they all died this last time, Minella recycled the guys so they can have a break from their misery and missing Paka, which is why the guys didn't remember her. So the guys have basically been alive for at least 500 years, but they died 350 years before that. Honestly, it was kind of confusing to read because I was like, they've been alive for almost 1,000 years. And she has only been a part of their lives, knowing to them for the past 5.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And she doesn't remember them either, but she attached her soul so that she could find her way back to them. She doesn't have a soul, but she attached parts of herself so that she could find her way back to them. The devil then tells Paka that they will have a family reunion, even though she kicks up a mega fuss about not wanting this. She's simply not ready to have a meeting with her siblings. Something happens that Paka can't hear, but Lucifer clearly can, so he tells her that the family reunion is postponed a day before she feels this rushing feeling, and she's suddenly in the living room of their house on Earth. The guys follow shortly behind her before siphoning off to their rooms without speaking to her because they're pissed at her yet again. She decides that because she and Ezekiel are the most alike, she will try to talk to him tonight, and he tells her that everyone's going to be sleeping in their own beds and they are not talking tonight because the guys are all super pissed at her for walking away from them and trying to deal with the devil on her own. She's like, that's my fucking dad.
Right. I don't need no man.
Also, y'all give me fucking attitude at all times. I don't need you. Anyway, she talks to Ezekiel about how she's tired of them not trusting her and that her intuition is what has gotten them out of a lot of sticky situations, but he does not soften toward her at all. She reminds him that for the last 5 years, they have been her whole life, but she's only had herself because no one could see her or hear her, so she literally only had herself to talk to, and she feels like she's living that phantom life again because when she talks to them a lot of the times, they just don't, they hear her, but they don't hear her.
Yeah. Like they hear the sound, but they're not listening.
They're not listening.
Or paying attention to what she's saying.
Right. So she ends up telling him goodnight, and he doesn't respond to her. And then she knocks on each of the other guys' doors because she doesn't actually want to say goodnight to them because they hurt her feelings. Oh. The next chapter opens with Paka screaming at the top of her lungs because she's having a nightmare, and in the nightmare, she is being brutally whipped. She accidentally throws Kai into a wall because he tries to wake her up. And then the house kind of starts to crumble down around them because she's pissed off at them and needs to feel physically connected to them for her to be able to control herself and not tear the house down. Remember, she's the apocalypse.
So that reminds me, I had a dream last night that you, me, and Adam were at the tattoo shop. But I fell asleep on the way there. And I woke up and you were getting a pair of Vans tattooed on you, the shoe.
Seems very on brand for me.
But they weren't like the regular Vans. They were they almost look like Jordans, but they were Vans.
They have high tops.
And then Adam was getting something and I was just I don't know what I'm going to get.
Oh, like today?
I was all stressed.
Today?
Like it was for today.
How me and our one friend, whose name we won't mention because she's very private, immediately knew, and you were just like, I don't know. I need to look at every book.
It's very like me. I must look at all the options.
Yeah. I was prepared. It's okay.
Yeah.
He still has, I'm sorry, not husband Eric still has a bunch of designs on his wall that I want to get. Really? There's a lighthouse. I want to get the lighthouse on my leg so bad.
Let's do it. Let's go back.
On my upper thigh.
Yeah?
Yeah.
A thigh tattoo?
On my upper thigh, here.
You should.
And I'm like, do I want to bare my body like that?
For not husband Eric?
For not husband Eric, who's literally old enough to be my fucking dad. Not really. I'm just kidding. He's not actually that old. I would say that he's 45 at most.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, we digress. Mm-hmm. Sorry, Tony. Once she's calmed down a bit, she realizes that she's actually very upset at them and says, you'd all really rather sleep in your own rooms because you're mad at me and suffer through those nightmares than to have to share a bed with me. I thought you were simply being petty, but you must truly hate me to knowingly put yourselves through that. I say on a strained whisper, all because I wandered off to try to learn more about myself while the 4 of you plotted your own plan behind my back. Do you not see the hypocrisy, or do you just find my thoughts and needs to be completely irrelevant? Am I really that insignificant? And I was like, wow, y'all really hurt her fucking feelings.
Yeah, get them.
After her grand gesture speech, she zaps downstairs to get some ice cream because sad girls eat ice cream. Only she doesn't find any ice cream, so she has to settle for a can of Ready Whip. So she's down there this'll do. The guys come into the living room.
They just hear the noise.
What is that sound? The guys all come into the living room and sit around her.
And she's put it on her nipples at this point.
It's like a bikini on her.
And she's like, none for you.
She's like, you can look, but you can't touch. So just as Kai goes to start to speak to her, the doorbell rings, and she's like, excuse me, does your doorbell often ring at 2 o'clock in the morning, or are we just lucky tonight? They open the door. when a woman starts screaming for Gage to let her in. He does, and she immediately is like clinging to his arm, and Paka is like, what the fuck?
Who is she?
Who is she? She's very severely injured, so all the guys start tending to her, at which point Paka starts to lose her shit. The woman talks about these rebels who are causing chaos and strife, and Paka's like, all right, we're gonna go take care of that. And by we, I mean I'm gonna go take care of that, because if I don't, I'm gonna burn this fucking house down, because why is she touching my men? We have to remember that envy and jealousy are also part of Paka's impurities, but she's the embodiment of wrath. So if she feels angry,
they're gonna know.
They're gonna know.
They're gonna feel it.
They're gonna feel it. So she zaps to what she thinks is going to be the graveyard, but as it turns out is actually a battlefield, and the guys are following shortly behind. Don't worry. They didn't leave the woman, whose name is Chloe, for dead. They healed her before they zapped here, and we learned that Chloe was actually somebody who was romantically interested in the men, i.e. having a relationship with them, because they have tried to have relationships before, but it doesn't work out because there's always a favorite and the others feel neglected. But remember, they can only orgasm with other women if all of them are there, so the women picking a favorite is not in the best interest of the group. So Gage was her favorite.
Problematic.
It's problematic. We're not really helping Paka's jealousy for her to hear that Gage was her favorite. Anyway, they have this battle. The guys kind of transform into the horsemen that they each represent and somehow win this battle, at which point Paka looks up and sees all of her siblings hanging from these hammocks in the sky. And she's like, oh, great. What? We've been duped. They set this up so that I would have to come to hell and have this little fucking family reunion. Also of note,
hammocks?
In the hammocks. Also of note, the hammocks are up there, and the Gemini twins are each being sucked off by somebody. So one of them has a man, and the other has a woman in their hammock with them. And I'm like, what the fuck?
What is happening?
What is happening? Why are the twins getting more than Paka?
Right, than these.
Golly.
And this little...
The devil ends up
foursome.
coming up. He like ascends from a crack in the ground, and he's like, ladies and gentlemen, the 4 horsemen and the apocalypse. And all the survivors kind of freak out. The siblings are cheering, and I was like, wow.
Look at that.
What a great family reunion that's been.
What an announcement.
The next chapter opens up with the following line. The twins have lost their appointed cocksuckers when I walk into the room. And I was like, oh, okay.
Oh, they're appointed cocksuckers. Got it.
Great. Paka throws Lilith around for fucking with Kai, and then Lucifer starts talking. She fell for his trap, enabling him to manipulate her into breaking the deal that he made with her and outing her to the family before she was ready. And I was like, that son of a bitch. We learned that Lucifer has a brother named Raphael, and Raphael's the one who actually killed Paka before Lucifer announces that they're going to have to relocate to this family reunion.
Something's come up.
Something's come up. Lucifer basically zaps them back into purgatory, where they are promptly attacked by 2 5-headed beasts.
Oh.
Paka is injured badly enough that Gage has to put her leg back into place, and then he carries her to a cave where Kai makes a smart-ass comment about him being her favorite again, and she tells him he's about to be on probation for being the favorite. He tells her that 1 orgasm will put him back on top. As they're bantering back and forth, one of the guys points out that there's some sort of cleansing going on out there, and they need to get a move on. There's no explanation as to what the cleansing actually is. By the way, Paka had dropped this pebble into a hole and was counting how long it took to get to the bottom, because it seems like they're going to have to jump into this hole. She gets up to about 71 Mississippis before she hears the thud, which is terrifying to her. As they're arguing about what to do about the cleanse, Lilith appears, kisses Paka. Lilith is her sister.
Okay.
She kisses Paka on the lips and then pushes her into the hole. All 4 of the guys are like, shit, and they jump in without hesitation.
Something's happened.
They fall for so long that she's sure she should have hit bottom by now. Just as she's about to make a popcorn joke, it seems that they land, and she's immediately surrounded by this blinding white light that happened before in the last book during the trials when she had to save Gage. You remember when he almost fell into the firefall and this blast? So that happens again.
Wasn't he burned over like his whole body or something, and she had to do something?
That was Jude.
Oh.
By the black ice.
I'm mixing things up.
Yeah, it's really hard and confusing because there's so many guys.
There's so many things, too.
They've fallen down a hole and into purgatory where the devil and a bunch of other unkempt dudes and Paca's siblings are once again waiting for them. One of the unkempt dudes is Raphael. Yes, the very same one who killed Paca. He puts her through yet another trial in what appears to be a setup to prove that she is in fact the apocalypse. And I was like,
what are all these fucking trials for?
can this girl catch a break? Why do they have to keep going through trials?
Yeah, first she's a ghost. No one can see her for 5 years.
Literally, and they just keep running her through the ringer. While Paca watches as her men are placed under this like dome of sorts, she can see through it, but they can't get out, and she can't get to them. Where they have to fight other men in an attempt to provoke her powers. Nothing works until she sees Ezekiel die.
Gasp.
Gasp. Hell hath no fury like Paca in this moment. Power explodes from her, and she does manage to injure Raphael. Then she sees all of her men walking toward her, and she was like, was that a fucking illusion?
Oh.
And the devil's like, yeah, sorry about that, but I needed something that would get you to show your ass. And she's like, are you fucking kidding me?
We needed proof that you were really the apocalypse.
Ezekiel picks her up and they siphon off somewhere. As it turns out, they've made it to her chambers in hell. Paca heals the fastest in hell. So she can heal topside. She heals faster in purgatory, but she heals fastest in hell.
Okay.
So they're in her room.
And he's like, I saw how mad you got back there.
And after the literal hell that she was put through in this chapter, she needs to spend some quality time with Ezekiel in hell so that she can recover. She manages to go into her phantom form long enough to clean herself up and change her clothes, and then Kai is putting her on the bed. She tells the guys that she needs Ezekiel right now, and they all just sit on the floor as she and Ezekiel lay up on the bed. She tells them that the hell that she had to go through just to get them to be nice to her doesn't really seem worth it, and then she goes to sleep. She's like, wow, you guys are being really nice to me, but I had to watch Ezekiel die for you guys to be this nice to me.
So now Mama needs a nap.
Mama needs to cuddle with the man that died in front of her.
Y'all can sit and watch.
You can watch me cuddle with him. Lamar shows up to tell Paca that the time has come for her and the boys to become the Four Horsemen and the Apocalypse. And I was like, oh my God.
With capital
Here
T.
we go. There's a lot of talk about Raphael becoming a fallen angel, but I started to fall asleep when I was reading this chapter, so my attention wasn't great, and that's all that she wrote for this.
I yawned right on cue.
Yeah. All right, in the next chapter, there's a lot that happens. There's a standoff between the devil and his brother, who are arguing about Paca, and the horsemen leveling the earth to defeat this being that's called Jal. Jal apparently was the devil's first child, but he wasn't allowed to give it his blood, so it's basically pure evil. There are no purities to balance out this being's impurities. He also defeated the angel's champion really easily, and Raphael thinks that Paca would be the perfect match to easily defeat this beast. Paca's like, I don't want to do that.
I'd rather not.
Because she's still super desperate to know what happened to her. So we finally learn that she was indeed killed by Raphael's command, but it wasn't actually Raphael's hand that took her life. The devil projects a video of her death. She was stabbed through the gut, much like the last time she died, even though she only died for a month the last time, by a man named Horatio. A man who is actually Harold from the pawn shop who is an angel.
Wow. That's a lot.
Do you remember Harold? He's the one who sells them the booze that can get them drunk.
Oh, the only booze.
The only booze that can get them drunk. We end the chapter learning that Jal is actually a beast, which only adds to Paca's migraine and bloody nose.
She's like, this is a lot of information.
She's like, can we stop? Stop, please. Get out of here. Keyboard, go away. Well, the devil and the angel continue to argue about Paca leveling the earth. As more information comes out, her migraine starts to go away, but as soon as someone says something that causes her to think too hard, there's that migraine again. She and the boys make their way out of the argument, and the devil appears in front of her, telling her that she cannot kill Harold, no matter how badly she wants to, because it will upset the balance. And I was like, who gives a fuck about the balance?
Right.
Then she gets all teary-eyed over her not telling him. Oh, then the devil, rather, gets all teary-eyed over her not telling him she was going to sacrifice herself like 1,000 years ago. Apparently, she's the devil's balance. So when she died, that's when he started to go crazy and lose his sanity. He only allowed himself to hope when he started to have periods of lucidity, because when she was back, he was like, oh, I'm not crazy anymore. Mm-hmm. She very much doesn't want to face this Jawl beast and fears that she's going to have to save the world. And I was like, God, she can't catch a break.
She's like, gosh darn it, I gotta put on my big girl pants.
They finally make it to Paka's purple hell bedroom and debrief what they know with Lamar. I did forget to mention that when their little fight took place a few chapters ago, the guys all end up in these leather fringe skirt, like Spartan skirts. And they've been like wearing their little skirts since the battle a few chapters ago. So they're in the bedroom in their skirts. And Jude is like, I'm fed up with this. And he's like, why exactly are we wearing this?
What?
Apparently there was a dress code that Paka created. And the horsemen, that they'd have to wear this when they would be in battles in their past lives. And I was like, you know what?
Of course she did.
Of course she did. Because she's able to go phantom and dress however she likes. She does this 4 separate times, providing the men with new outfits each time. And each time that she like changes into these men clothes, she pretends that spit everywhere. She pretends that she's going to give the clothes to Jude, and then she'll like throw it behind her to Ezekiel. So it goes Ezekiel and then Kai and then Gage. And when it's Jude's turn, she makes him clothes that are like significantly too tight for him.
He has like little booty shorts on.
Also, she makes him a pair of wet leather, like the inside of his sweatpants are wet leather. And he's like, what the fuck?
How did you come up with this?
The guys, except for Jude, of course, find it hilarious. Of note, Paka is changing in and out of her clothes. And Lamar is staring at Gage and questioning him. She's like, you're gay, right? Don't look at my men. Oh my God.
Were you like giggling reading this?
Yeah, these books are fun. They just needed to get it on more often.
Author, take note.
Take note. I need more debauchery in my reverse harems. Okay, I'm sorry. As Paka's changing in and out of her clothes, Lamar is staring at her, and Gage is like, you're gay, right? And Lamar is like, no, I'm for sure gay. I just wanted to see if she gave up anything, like any of her physical attributes for you. And I just thought it was funny that Gage was the one who was being territorial, considering he was like one of the last ones to come around to tolerating her. Mm-hmm. It was like Kai was the first one to be like, yes, I like her a lot. And then Ezekiel, and then Gage, and Jude still hates her.
Jude's still a dick.
Paka's nose has been bleeding since Purgatory, and she ends up actually passing out because of this, and the guys make fun of her because she passes out after she sees this drawer full of gems. So they're like, oh, she can't even handle seeing beautiful gems before she passes out. Okay. Only Ezekiel seems to notice that her nose keeps bleeding.
He's like, something's up.
Something's up with that. They're basically trying to come up with a plan for how to move forward, and Lamar insists that they take a break and then shows them a closet full of men's clothing that was hidden behind this wall. Jude's like, are you serious?
All that? And there's some clothes?
As he's like gesturing wildly, the ass crack of his pants like splits. Paka points out that she's surprised that this did not happen sooner because the man has been making Hulk out gestures as they argue about what to do next.
Just constantly flexing his butt cheeks.
And his arm muscles. Lamar tells Paka that she needs to go to Hell's Black Heart because that's where she's going to heal the fastest. And he will take her to her favorite room so that she can heal. The guys are going to have to stay behind for a bit until she's healed up. He seems to be giving them time to change and get situated. He summons a guard for them that will escort them to Paka once Paka and Lamar are ready for them. Okay. As they go to leave, Gage grabs a hold of Paka, and she thinks that he's going to tell Lamar that he can't just take her, but instead Gage ends up kissing her. And she's so caught off guard that she's just like standing there with her arms down and her eyes wide open as he's kissing her. And it takes her a few seconds to catch up and start kissing him back. She's very hung up on the fact that she used to have a crown and can't find it right now. And that's when the guy decides to tell her that she does have a crown. It's just a tramp stamp on her lower back right now.
Of course it is.
See, Lilith has the ability to gift, remember? But with her gifts also come a curse. So she gave Paka Hera's red hair to make Hera jealous because Hera's blessed. So she's like, I am better than everybody.
Oh, okay.
So Paka has red hair now, but the curse was that the crown is now a tramp stamp on her back. In this moment, she decides that she would rather piss off Hera than have her crown. And I was like, get it, girl. So Lamar ends up taking Paka into this 90s themed room where she plays Super Mario and chats with him about what they're going to do before she ends up unplugging the Super Nintendo, handing it to him and telling him that he's going to have to carry this because she's not going to be able to. She turns into a phantom, zaps them topside because they're going to confront Harold.
Ooh. She
and Harold have a long talk about balance and imbalance once again as they play the Nintendo. But not before Harold stacks a bunch of weapons on the counter as a threat to her. And she's like, yo, dog, you already killed me once. I'm really not trying to have that happen again. In the middle of them arguing, it shows up. Oh, Gage shows up and he's alone and looking extremely terrifying. Apparently, he was able to tap into his power as Famine in Hell's Black Heart and was able to siphon up here to get Paka himself. Yes, I know. It's really confusing. She tells Gage that he cannot kill Harold and that she will tell him the information as soon as they get back to Hell, at which point he very quickly siphons them back down there. She notes that he's still different once they're back in Hell, and he kind of explains to her that none of her family explained to the guys that time moves differently in Hell, and they can only get in and out of Hell's Black Heart on the hour, but nobody told them how to tell what time it is. And I was like, oh, okay. She tells him that it's really too bad that he can't be her favorite because there's that pesky little issue of that other woman named Chloe that she's jealous of. And he tells her that if he can't be her favorite, then she's just going to have to start talking about everything that she learned while she was topside. We have no idea where the other three guys are. I assumed that they were still in Hell's Black Heart. As she and Gage are sitting there, Lamar walks in with Chloe, who bows to Paka. Gage slides up behind Paka and starts kissing her on the neck, telling her that he's with the Apocalypse now. Lamar tells Paka that Chloe will no longer be a problem before he goes on his pouty way because he does not appreciate being an errand boy.
It's not for me.
He's like, I'm so sick of bending to your every whim, Paka. I'm supposed to be your best friend. Once they're gone, it's Gage and Paka alone again, and Gage wastes no time picking her up, carrying her to the bed before kissing the ever-loving shit out of her and making sweet, sweet love to her.
Sweet, sweet love.
As he's inside of her, she sees him looking at her with this terrified expression, and she realizes that he's not able to say what he's feeling. So she goes, I love you too. And then he kisses her, and they proceed to start all over again with the lovemaking. So,
okay.
Paka, in her previous life, made it impossible for the Horsemen to tell her that they love her.
Why?
I don't know. She has to say it to them.
Okay.
So Gage is the first one to fall in love with her.
Our little boy.
Our little boy. She tells us that he doesn't notice the tear rolling down her cheek. And she's like, I'm crying because it feels so good to be finally loved back. Aww. And I was like, they really hurt your feelings, girl.
Adam responded to the tattoo.
What did he say?
He said, so to catch y'all up, in case you didn't hear, I texted Adam a picture of a tattoo I got today, which is a heart with a 13. And we got married on Friday the 13th in 2023. And he just responded fancy, and I said, it's to commemorate our love. And he said, wasn't Friday the 13th a scary movie? And I said, yes, but we also got married on Friday the 13th. You were there. Did you forget? And he said, no. Today just feels like a scary movie. You're so sweet.
Ah, my husband loves her.
Look at that.
He loves her.
He loves me sometimes. All right, moving on. Sorry, Tony.
Sorry, Tony. We know you love our tangents.
Was he at my wedding?
Yes.
Okay, Tony, you were there.
You remember, Tony? You were there. You were sitting at the table behind me.
I think he's in the pictures of us trying to sign the wedding certificate.
That's hilarious. So cute that Amanda took.
Yes.
Because you didn't hire a photographer, and Amanda was like, I'm taking pictures.
I'm here.
She was like, I don't care if they said no phones. I'm taking pictures. They'll regret this. No, she literally said that. She literally said all of this to me.
Did she?
Yeah, she was like...
We never said no phones either.
Just during the ceremony.
Oh, did we?
Yeah. At least that's what Bori said when he was like, the couple have requested no phones. Enjoy the
maybe
moment.
we did say that.
I don't know.
Whatevs. I can't remember shit.
I was trying to film it for Eric, but you said no phones, and I was trying to respect your boundaries.
Meanwhile, Judith is there FaceTiming Yvonne on her phone. It was so loud at first.
That is so funny. That is so funny.
Sorry.
Anyway, you all know none of these people.
It's okay.
They're our friends. Anyway, in the last chapter of the book, they're all kind of arguing about their plan for taking out this beast. Paka jokes about it being a unicorn because that's the only logical explanation or balance for something so evil. All of the guys are a little jealous because Gage is her current favorite, but it's a little different than when they've been her current favorite because she's stuck to him like a Velcro child. And they're like, what the fuck is that about?
Calm down.
And she's like... He loves me. And then I lost my place. He loves me. And then everybody's kind of annoyed, but no one's more depressed about the fact that Gage is in love with Paka than Ezekiel. And I was like, brother, you could just tell her that you love her. Well, you can't tell her.
Well, he can't.
You could just like...
Tell her with your eyes.
Tell her with your eyes, like Gage did. So much so that Paka ends up going to sit on his lap while they argue about what to do. Jude ends up standing up and like looking at this little compass type device that Lamar brought to them, and Paka realizes that there's no possible way for her to defeat this beast without detonating herself. And so she now has to figure out how she's going to get into this arena with this beast without her men so that she can win without killing her guys. And that was the end of Two Kingdoms.
Which is book 3.
Rating 3 stars, horny 3, spice 2. Because when we did get it on, we got it on.
Yeah? Pretty vividly?
Yeah, pretty vividly.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty vividly. Especially
She's trying to play it all back in her
especially
brain.
when she and Gage had their I love you moment.
Oh.
I used to have koozies for my cans. They're at work. And Lindsay stole them from me.
Dare you. Lindsay, if you're listening.
You can still have it. I don't need a koozie.
Give them back.
Maybe we should make Smut Swap koozies.
That'd be fun. Look at us.
That'd be cute. Tony, would you want a Smut Swap koozie? I'm going to make you a shirt. I am going to make you a shirt.
I had somebody I work with at Subway come in and...
Oh, God. Who?
You don't know him.
Oh.
But he was like, I got to tell you something. And when I say this, you can tell me to shut up if you don't want to talk about it. And I was like, you've seen the podcast. But it was about something entirely different that I've completely forgotten about.
Oh, so clearly it was so traumatizing.
It did not resonate with me.
Clearly. We might even have time to finish Heated Rivalry.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We should.
We should.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay.
Let's crank it out.
Lock in.
Let's bang this out real quick.
Lock in, chat. We're going to bang it out and flick each other's beans.
No.
Okay, so one apocalypse. We open up in this book with Paka absolutely getting her ass handed to her by Raphael and some other angels, much to the guy's chagrin.
They're going to say spanked.
No. Her theory is if she lets the angels kick her ass, it will prepare her for when they actually have to face the beast. Raphael keeps punching himself in the head over and over and over again, and I think this is true. This is to show that there's an imbalance in the world because he's supposed to be pure and kicking her ass. We'll just pause. I do have an Amazon package coming.
Just one?
Just one. Just one this time. I needed a little tote bag.
Oh.
For my carry-on.
For the trip?
Yeah.
I could have brought you one.
It's all good. I wanted
to shop.
I wanted a cute little weekender. And I found a cute little weekender.
Yeah?
Yeah, because I'm going to take like yarn and stuff with me.
Be that little old lady.
I know. They're going to be like, ma'am, what's this metal in your bag?
Are these weapons?
Just crochet hooks.
Don't mind me.
Don't mind me. I have to...
Oh, we got another one.
Yay. I have to stay on top of my book blanket.
Oh, yeah.
And
148 views, though. Oh, 6 likes.
Oh.
Oh, that's October, November.
I was like, what?
Say to her on my Kindle.
The only lines I do are on my Kindle. Oh, that's
Look at us.
It's really funny.
It's really funny.
Anyway, so he's punching himself in the head over and over and over again. He's supposed to be pure, kicking her ass, and she's not retaliating at all. It's causing, it's doing a number on him, so to speak. She finally decides that she's had enough and channels all of her power into a punch that launches Raphael somewhere. Don't ask me where. I don't know. He's gone. Also, it should be noted that all of her siblings are watching this go down every single time it goes down. So the Gemini twins end up making a going, gone joke when she launches Raphael out of purgatory.
Get the fuck out.
By the way, we learned what the Gemini twins' names are, but it was like Caesar and Pico.
It's Gem and I. Okay.
Yeah. It's greed and pride.
Oh.
Anyway.
Oh, that checks out.
Yeah.
For Geminis.
Yeah, right? My dad's a Gemini.
Friend Tyrese is one. I love her.
Our friend Ashley is one also.
Oh, yeah.
Also, Gemini is my sister sign.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I don't know what mine is. Leave a comment below.
What's the sister sign for Pisces? I bet you it's Libra.
Yeah? Okay.
Or Virgo.
Hey, Siri. Hey, Siri. What's the sister sign for Pisces?
Pisces' sister sign is Virgo. This answer is from thedonethole.com.
Stay away from my husband.
My husband is also a Virgo.
Yeah, because Virgo's the most common because everybody gets their freak on at Christmas and then all the babies are born 9 months later.
You're right. However, there were a shit ton of birthdays in March all of a sudden.
Yeah.
So many people I know, I'm like, you? March?
What was 6 months ago or 9 months ago?
Anomaly here.
4th of July?
I think. No, that's Claire. Because Claire's a 4th of July baby.
Oh.
Sorry. Earmuffs, Claire, if you're listening.
Claire, don't listen to our podcast. It's not for you until you're 18.
That was one drunken night.
Wow.
Sorry.
Wow. Where was I? Okay.
We really got astray.
We were like, let's buckle down. Let's lock in so we can go watch the last episode of Heated Rivalry. And then we just immediately spiral. Kai walks up beside Paka and siphons them back to her room, where she makes a bunch of jokes about getting her ass kicked, at which point Jude is like, somebody put something in her mouth to shut her up. And Kai's like, okay.
I got this.
He starts to undo his pants. And he's like, oh, I'll give her something to shut her up. She's really excited that she might get to experience this first. But before she can, Jude is like, be serious. And Kai's like, okay. So then he starts to button his pants back up. Now remember, Ezekiel was feeling a certain type of way about Gage and Paka being in love. He wants to know how exactly Gage confessed his love to Paka, because they're not supposed to be able to tell her that they love her. It has something to do with like the balance of the world. Gage, being the snarky asshole that he is, won't tell him what happens. Jude says, we don't have time to talk about feelings. We don't have time for anybody else to get down to some hanky-panky because we got something to do in the next 15 minutes, so get it together. But that doesn't stop Kai from volunteering when Paka looks up from reading her journal and says, I want to try something. Who wants to do it with me? So Paka's like, I'd like to try something. Who would like to do it? And Kai's like, me. Immediately me. Jude is like, we're literally leaving in 15 minutes, so you need to hurry up. And Gage looks up and is like, don't worry, it won't take long. And I'm like, how the fuck do you know?
Yeah.
Sure
Jesus.
enough, less than 3 seconds after they go into the room, Kai comes running out and he's like, I'm not doing that. And she's like, come on, you did it before.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm assuming that it was pegging. I'm assuming that it was.
Sorry. Okay.
I'm assuming that it was pegging.
Not this lifetime.
He's like, well, you know what? That was the old me. Soon enough, the guys are leaving. They all kiss Paka goodbye. Jude kisses her first, and Ezekiel's like watching, and he's like, wow, that's kind of violent. Kai's kiss is next, kissing her just as passionately as always. Gage kisses her in a much more intimate way than the previous two, and once again, Ezekiel's feeling jealous, but Gage tells Paka, when they come back from their little errand, that he and Ezekiel will take her together. And Ezekiel's like, you're goddamn right we will. And he's not jealous.
Brother.
He's not jealous anymore. Oh, by the way, this is when we finally start getting chapters from the guys' POVs. So that this is all in Ezekiel's POV.
Oh, okay.
God, my nose. It's
it running?
It's like drippy.
Oh. Drippy. Well, that sucks for you.
I know. It's got like post-nasal drip. I might have to go get me some distilled water and do a little sinus shot later. Anyway, the guys end up going to Hell's Black Heart. I'm not exactly sure what they're doing here, but it does seem like they're using Hell's Black Heart as a way to practice for facing the beasts that they will eventually have to go against. Hilariously, Jude is attacked by a unicorn, and Gage is like, Paka must have known that was real. It's like a ghost memory or a phantom memory. Jude tells the guys that she is not to find out about what happened. They end up hearing hellhounds, and Kai is like, nope, I draw the line at hellhounds. We're out of here.
I'm out.
And they end up going back to Paka. When they make it back to her room, they hear 3 female voices squabbling. Paka's hair is now blonde instead of Hera's red, and the girls are all arguing over her crown, which one of her sisters flings out the window into this pit of tar.
Gosh.
Before Lilith and Hera disappear. Paka, being her usual self, yells about her boyfriend's going to get her crown for her, but only Ezekiel's brave enough to dive into the tar. And he does actually manage to find the crown. When he comes out, he finds Jude looking down on him. Now, when Jude slayed the unicorn, its blood was rainbow colored, and it dried his hand to his face. And so he's still, hand dried to his face, looking at Ezekiel.
What in the world?
And he's like, you absolutely cannot tell Paka about this. And
I gotta get this shit off.
Ezekiel's covered in this tar, and he can only move his eyes, and he's like, same. Lamar appears, offering to help them like the measly servant boy they treat him before turning and strutting away. Lamar's telling Paka, your crown's going to be with you momentarily, and then he leaves. Gage and Kai are snoozing on the floor when Ezekiel comes in and points out the crown. She thinks that Lamar made him go into the tar pit to get it, and is furious before he's like, no, I did this voluntarily. She curls up next to him on the bed and goes phantom to change him into a sexy dress for him, but she's not wearing any underwear.
Oh my gosh.
She's not wearing any underwear.
Uh-oh.
When she's a real girl again, he seems really pleased with the outfit choice, and they start kissing. Once he realizes that she's not wearing any panties, shit escalates very quickly.
Oh no.
Ravenous. She can tell by how he's looking at her that he loves her, so she whispers that she loves him too, and they start going going to town. Soon enough, she feels something at her back entrance, and she looks, and there's Gage.
He's like tapping her butt. He's like, hey,
knock, knock. Here it is. So they have a three-way while Kai and Jude watch.
And grade them on their form.
Kai's like, didn't let her finish first. Once Gage finishes, it's just Ezekiel and Paka again, and she tells us that he basically waged war on her body sexually. How fitting for the war horseman.
Oh, that checks out.
Now Kai's jealous.
Oh, no, not Kai.
So Lamar rats Paka out on her plan to battle her siblings while Raphael has a break from, like, kicking her ass. Predictably, they're all pissed at her. She's like, hey, I have a great idea. How about I take a break from Raphael? He needs to heal up from me kicking his ass out of purgatory. How about I battle my siblings one by one? And you guys can just watch. And they're like, no, we actually hate that idea.
We don't like this at all.
Please don't do that. In the Black Heart, Kai and Jude have a conversation about Paka and how they could possibly help her, but Jude stalks off before they can finish. And it's like, okay, Jude, stop being a little bitch.
Little bitch.
Kai decides to go to Paka and rest beside her since he's still drained from their previous trip to the Black Heart. In the next chapter, Paka's reading over a journal entry that involves death, Jude, and conquest, Kai. And Jude and Kai try to talk her out of her fight with her siblings, and she's very much against trying to give this up. So they try to convince her by dickmatizing her. And I was like, sirs!
By doing what?
Dickmatizing her.
Dickmatizing?
Yeah, they try to seduce her.
Oh.
You never heard of being dickmatized?
No. I ain't never.
Look it up. Not right now.
Okay. Tony.
Shane is dickmatized by Ilya.
Oh.
You get it now?
It's just like obsessed?
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Yeah. Like,
All right.
You're so obsessed with me, you'll do anything that I ask you to do.
You're dickmatized.
Dickmatized. And if I'm wrong, don't correct me. Because I could be wrong, but I doubt it.
She's very rarely wrong.
I'm literally making me a shirt that says, I could be wrong, but I doubt it. Jude rips off her pants and her shirt and has her blow him while Kai hits it from behind. Once everyone's finished, they're like, so you're calling it off? And she goes phantom, cleans herself up, and says, you wish it were that easy. Paraphrase, of course, before leaving to go practice. And I was like, you know what? Stand up for yourself, girl. Don't let those men stand on your neck. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, pussy-matize them boys.
Yeah. Pussy whip them.
Pussy whip them.
Oh, that's like actually a very good parallel.
Yeah.
Honestly. Okay.
Yeah.
The guys meet with Raphael to seek out a safety net when they battle the beast, and he offers them one that the previous champion refused because he was too tough or some shit. When they leave, Ezekiel reminds the guys that they promised not to talk about it tonight, and then they zip off to give Paka a foot massage, or he zips off to give Paka a foot massage, much to the other guys' dismay. Not to be outshone, Gage siphons off to Lamar to find bath salts, and the other two are like, literally, what the fuck is wrong with them?
Are we getting high or are we bathing?
Well, because she's in love with these two, and the other two are like, what about us?
Yeah. Why are you so obsessed?
We're at the sibling battle now, and the guys are in this like suite that's floating above the battlefield. Lucifer enters with all of the siblings, and Jude finds that the guys are not able to get up from their seats because Lucifer has used his power to essentially glue them to their seats. And I was
Wow.
like, oop.
That's a lot.
The guys know that Paka's mad about something. They just don't know what she's mad about. And it doesn't get better when Hera enters the arena and the crowd starts throwing roses at her because Paka turns around and she's like, are you fucking kidding me? My boyfriends didn't bring me any roses. Hera uses her power to harness these underground beings that paralyze their victims. So they're touching Paka and covering her in this gray goop, which results in her not being able to move and results in the guys freaking out. But they're also not able to move because, remember, they're glued to their seats. She's screaming and acting as if she's in a lot of pain while Hera stands there, like, painting her nails.
I was like, this is boring.
It's so bad that Kane's like, I'd like to go next because this is going to be an easy win for me. That is until Paka starts laughing. The goo burns off of her. She flings it at her sister so powerfully that Hera ends up being pushed into the crowd, where the crowd start fighting over who gets to have her because she's lust.
Ah, okay.
At which point, Kane is like, never mind, I'm not going next. Manella's up next, and because he is sloth, he doesn't really do anything but lay down on the ground and use this sword to protect himself from Paka's flames that she keeps sending at him. She's still pissed about the roses because Manella also gets a ton of roses. They're from Lamar. We end this chapter with what appears to be Lilith up next. All of the guys, except for Jude, watch as as Lilith enters the arena. Jude doesn't want to watch because he can't bear the thought of watching Paka get her ass absolutely handed to her by Lilith. Of course, the crowd goes wild, throwing more and more roses as she continues to grow more and more pissed. She makes quick work of Lilith, and then it's time for Cain to enter the fray. Cain has these 2 daggers that he throws at her. She tries to block it with fire, but somehow the ground ends up shaking and something comes up out of the earth and falls on top of her. And the guys are still just like frozen watching her. Cain is the embodiment of gluttony. Mm-hmm. So he like snorts a whole bunch of hell drugs and like eats a whole bunch before he goes into the arena.
Oh my gosh.
It's really funny.
Have you seen the movie Seven with Brad Pitt?
I thought Will Smith was in that movie.
He is too.
Oh.
I think. Actually, I don't know if he's in it.
I don't think so. You ask me every time if I've seen a movie, the answer is probably no.
But it has Brad Pitt, and there is a serial killer, and he is killing people, but like forcing the 7 sins upon them. So there's a guy who, I think it's gluttony. Is that the one you just said?
Yeah.
And he's like on all these drugs. No, it's Morgan Freeman and Brad Pitt.
Oh.
It's a pretty good movie, though.
Oh.
We could watch it sometime.
We could react to it.
Yeah.
We're doing that on our TikTok
What's in the
now.
box?
It's really fun. We like to react to things on our TikTok, even though everybody in Kelly's house judged us yesterday for it.
Oh my gosh. They're like, and how many likes do we get?
Does it matter? Because we're working on it.
Yeah. We're about to go viral. We made a really killer TikTok in like 2.5 seconds.
It's really funny. We were manic laughing about it. So
check us out on TikTok.
Check us out on TikTok.
Okay,
once again, we digress. She ends up kicking Cain's ass in this one.
Hell
and then
yeah.
it's the twins' turn to take her on. Kai points out that it's likely she's able to kick so much ass because they're in hell, but when she goes against Raphael, they're in purgatory, and so it's almost like hell strengthens her power, but purgatory lessens it. Anyway, back to it being the twins' turn. Lucifer is losing his ever-loving mind and screaming at the twins to bring the pain and put her in her place, all while Jude thinks that the guys should be able to go down and help her, and Lucifer's like, no. And he's like, it's not fair. It's 2 against 1. Kai's like, okay, this is going to be ugly, because we're in Kai's perspective. And now we're in Ezekiel's point of view. She levels up and beats the dog shit out of the twins after it looks like she's going to lose. Honestly, the battle's so bad at first that Lucifer literally locks the guys' heads in place and forces their eyes to be open so that they can watch.
Oh, gosh.
Paka get brutalized by these 2 boys. Once it's over, she shouts up to them that they should have been cheering for her, but the guys are so pissed that Jude siphons out of the arena, followed by Kai, and then Gage with Ezekiel saying that he's going to need some time to cool off before he can talk to her again. They view her engaging in this fight between her siblings as punishment for them keeping secrets from her. And I think that Lucifer was making them watch her go through this because he was hoping that by forcing them to watch her go through this, it would force their powers to level up. Because Lucifer wants this beast to be defeated too.
Okay.
Not just the angels. So Paka is in her room, laid out on her bed, talking to her crown because none of her men are around to listen to her. That's when Ezekiel's like, yo, dog, are you talking to your crown right now? Because that's super fucking weird. She pops off about where the hell they've been because she wants them to reward her for winning her little challenge of the siblings thing that she had going on in the last chapters. They tell her that they have something in mind, and then they tie her up, blindfold her, and proceed to edge her for this entire chapter.
Oh my gosh.
While they're working her up...
They like have a feather. They're like, you like it?
No, it's more like they're holding her arms. 2 of them are holding her arms, and one of them's like kissing her neck as Kai's like going down on her and stopping before her.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Yeah, you're welcome for all the dirty
All the
details.
deets.
While they're working her up, so he's like between her legs, and the other 3 are talking amongst themselves about like what they should be doing and how they should defeat this monster that they have to go against. And she's like, excuse me, there's something that I like, and this is not it. Eventually, the 4 guys end up leaving the room, and they leave her tied to the bed, and she's like, what the fuck? Her fire, whatever they tied her up with, her fire can't burn through it.
Oh, no.
So she's literally just stuck there, and she's like, well, if I could burn this away, I'd just flick my bean and move on with my life, but here I am, stuck. Of note, in this chapter, Jude is very drunk. Like, so drunk. So he's a little bit less grouchy than he normally is.
He's let loose a little.
And she's like, if we're going to celebrate by getting drunk, why didn't you tell me? And why are you the only one who's drunk? So they leave Paka in her room, and they end up going out into the hallway where Jude leans up against the wall and in his drunken state, and the guys all talk about how to better prepare for the battle with this monster. While they're talking, Gage is like super focused on something down the hallway, and no one's like sure what he's like staring at. It's really weird. Because it doesn't seem like there's anything there. Ezekiel suddenly shouts, "It's an illusion," and the wall behind Jude falls away, and he like falls back and smashes his head off the ground.
Oh no.
And then they're surrounded by these military-looking guys with spears, and one of them uses his spear to stab Jude in the gut, because Jude's drunk. All the while, there's a voice telling them to surrender, that Paka can't win.
They're in hell, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Jude tells the guys that whatever this monster is trying to breach his mind, because he is obviously the weakest link right now, because he's drunk. So he's trying to infiltrate the mind, but it's not working. They end up fighting off these military-looking dudes, but it seems like their powers aren't working, so it's not exactly going to plan. Just as all the military-looking dudes pull back their spears to throw them, the guys realize they're done for, but as the spears are released from their hands, they kind of bounce off this invisible wall that goes up around them, and they turn to see that Manila and the twins have come to save the day. The twins tell the guys that it's going to be hell for Jude to heal, and they need to hurry up and get back to Paka. Once they're back with her, she's dressed in this little, like, leather outfit, complete with a whip, and she, like, cracks the whip, and she's like, "Come over here and lick my boots." And then she realizes how severely Jude is injured, and she's like, "Oh, my God."
Well, maybe later.
No, she's immediately pissed, and she wants to go find the monster and kill it because she's Wrath.
Oh, yeah.
The guys convince her not to because Jude needs her to heal, and also because she's not strong enough to take out the monster on her own. She hasn't leveled up quite enough yet. Kai realizes that Paka is taking this way more seriously than them, and they need to buckle down and focus so that they can all come together to defeat this monster. Jude is down for 2 whole days. Paka has to keep this fire burning that she can channel into him, or he is in utter agony, like screaming, crying, throwing up, distraught.
Okay.
She's exhausted because she hasn't rested since her battle with her siblings, and using all this firepower is draining to her, so her nose bleeds straight for 2 days.
Oh, so she's like 11. And when she uses a lot of power, her nose will just bleed.
Or if she thinks about anything too seriously, yes. When he wakes up, he's like, "What happened?" And so the guys explain exactly what happened. Paka burns up everything in her room over these 2 days multiple times because she's been so mad. And the room, so like she would burn things and then the room would refurnish itself, and then she would burn things again. And but the room gives up because it's like she keeps burning things.
She's
We're
like,
done.
Forget it.
So she has to call upon Lamar to fix her room. He tells her that she needs to pick one of the guys to stay with her so that she doesn't have nightmares, and the other 3 will go with him to read over more of her journals. She ends up choosing Kai to be the one to stay with her. Gage makes a joke about how he's also attention-starved, and she promises to make it up to him when they're all finally together. She sleeps very hard next to Kai for a very long time, and when they wake up, Kai wants to know why they're alone, and she tells him that the other guys are, like, doing research, at which point he picks her up and carries her to the bed and gives her that good D.
That good D.
At which point she feels her soul link up with him, and she tells him that she loves him, so now she has 3 of the 4 horsemen in love with her.
Locked in.
She also tells us that she finally knows what to do, but we're not filled in about what she has to do to defeat this monster. I assume it's going to be something about her giving up her own life, even though she promised the guys that she would never make them go through that again. Also, I want to point out that the order in which she saw the men is the order in which they have fallen in love with her. So she saw Gage first. He was the first one to fall in love with her. That's why he was 1.
Okay.
She saw Ezekiel second. He was 2. Second one to fall in love with her. Kai is 3. Third one. Jude's the only one not in love with her still.
Ah.
And it's so funny because Jude was her favorite.
That is funny. And he's like, no.
He's like, "No, fuck you, bitch.
I'm mad.
I hate you."
Girls, ew.
Ew. Basically, all that happens in the next chapter is they're back in Hell's Black Heart watching Paka kick every monster's ass that comes her way, all the while making out with Kai and making the other 3 wonder what the hell makes Kai her favorite right now. Ezekiel eventually catches on and points out that Kai couldn't just let him be the favorite for a little while longer. You had to steal his thunder, didn't you, Kai? Gage tells Jude that Jude is probably the only piece of the puzzle holding Paka back, because as each man falls in love with her, she levels up her power a bit more. As she and Kai are making out, a horde of 4-headed monsters start charging them, and she throws these little hand blades that she like manifested at these monsters, all while maintaining her kiss with Kai. Once she's leveled all the monsters, she decides to practice her evil laugh. And Jude is like, why are we doing this?
What's the point?
What's the point? And she's like, I gotta practice my evil laugh. So he grabs her head, laces his fingers through her hair, and kisses her to shut her up.
He's like, please. I beg.
We end Jude's chapter with him once again calling her treacherous treasure in Romanian. Also, they didn't call her that at all in the third book.
Oh, how dare they?
I know. She tells us that when he calls her this, it makes her want to throw her panties at him.
Oh my gosh.
So basically, she tells the guys to finish up the work in Hell's Black Heart, and then she siphons off quickly and into Purgatory, where she meets up with the angels and tells them to throw all of their power at her at once. So it's like 5 or 6 angels in this instance, and none of them really want to do that. They're like, why should we do that? That seems crazy. And she's like, well, I need to level up to my fullest, and that's how I'm going to do it. And the guys cannot know about this.
That's what I need right now.
In the next chapter, after they throw it all at her, we have Jude and Paka almost having their I love you moments. But Jude's holding back, and he's not sure why, aside from the fact that he's stubborn as hell. Or Paka's not sure why. Before Kai can get in on this, they hear this like gong sound, that because Kai is standing there with his back to them, like guarding the door so that they can have their moment. And he like turns around to try to join in, but then this gong starts sounding, and it keeps repeating, and they're siphoned to this area where the gong sound is coming from. Here, Paka tells the guys that she's going to have a little chat with Lamar, hoping to talk to him about boys, but ending up talking to him about the monster. Apparently, there is a secondary trigger to defeating this monster. Paka is the first. We are not sure what the secondary trigger is, but it seems like Lamar found in Paka's old journals that she might have put that secondary trigger inside of the 4 horsemen. She makes Lamar promise that he won't tell Lucifer this information, and they end up ripping out the pages from the journal and burning them before the guys come in. Once they're in, Jude punches Lamar in the face, and Kai tells Lamar that he's not allowed to touch Paka. And because they're so astute, Jude notices that there are pages that were ripped from this journal and questions Paka about it, so she makes him promise that he won't get mad. Lamar chimes in that making a deal with Paka wouldn't be as detrimental as making a deal with the literal devil, but it would still be just as binding as one with the devil. They all agree to not get mad. Or they still agree to not get mad. They shake her hand, and the deal is made.
Okay.
All right, off page, the guys have fucked Paka to sleep at the start of this chapter, and as she sleeps in post-O bliss, the guys are giving Jude the business for not completing the love ceremony. Not a real ceremony, I just didn't know what to call it.
Oh.
He's adamant that he did everything they told him to do, but Gage chimes in they can't make him complete the ceremony if he doesn't actually love Paka. And I was like, oh, shit.
Can't force someone to love someone.
You can't force it.
You know?
You can't force it.
If you're going to let it happen.
You can't force it. If he doesn't feel it, you can't force it.
You can't force it. I know they're predestined, so it's,
yeah, obviously
gonna happen, but
yeah. The guys all know that the second trigger to defeating Jaw, the monster, is in them at this point, and 3 of the 4 seemed determined to not use the trigger unless they absolutely have to because they don't want this love ripped away from them so soon after finding it, and Jude's like, fuck that, we're using it. Jude storms out, and the 3 remaining guys end up fucking Paka altogether. Gage, mouth, Ezekiel, Coos, Kai, ass.
There you have it.
There you have it, ladies. As they tell her that a letter arrived while she was asleep, telling them they have 1 week to the showdown, effectively granting them less time than originally planned, and giving Jude 7 days to fall in love with Paka. In the next chapter, we just have a whole lot of fighting. Paka and Jude kick it off because he admits that he's trying to do the love thing, and she gets pissed because she's like, I know you don't love me. You don't have to pretend. As they're arguing, the other guys come in, and they all start going at it. They're interrupted by the Hell siblings, and Paka ends up going with Hera to find herself a new set of horsemen so that these 4 don't end up dying. The guys are like, hell no, she's not fucking somebody else to seal the deal, and they end up splitting off into pairs to look for her because Lamar comes in and he's like, no, she can find 4 new dudes to like go in there as the horsemen, but she has to fuck them to seal the deal. You thought a handshake would be binding? Absolutely not.
They must fornicate, all right?
That's how we seal a deal. And they're like, she's not nobody's touching her, that's our girl. So we spend the next chapter watching these various quads that Hera has put together run some more trials. They love trials. To see who is best fit to replace our boys. About halfway through, Paka realizes that somehow her guys have made it into these trials. She's like, I know that's them. The way that they're moving is exactly how my guys move.
I know that shimmy right there.
And I would know their moves because I've been watching them for 5.5 years.
I know everything.
There's a part in this chapter where the guys are facing these knights who, when you kill them, actually regenerate into like, so it's like a hydra where you cut off one head and then 2 heads appear, and you cut off the 2 heads and then, you know, 8
It just
heads.
keeps like exponentially.
So that's what happens with these knights. And Paka is like, maybe I should intervene. Hera is convinced that the horsemen did not make it into her trials, but Paka's like, no, I know that that's them. As the battle wages on, Kai's face... they covered their faces. That's how they got around her not knowing for a while. So Kai's face covering is ripped off because how else will they trick the Hell Sisters but to cover their face? And Paka starts remembering these random riddles that she wrote in her journal. She asks Lamar, who has appeared, to name boy bands from the 90s with 4 members. And I was like, there's only one with 4 members.
Oh, I'm thinking 98 Degrees.
That's the only one.
From the 90s?
Yeah, that's the only one with 4 members. Everybody else had 5, and then Hanson had 3.
What's that other one? That might have been early 2000s, though. It's okay. Did they name it?
And he chastises her, telling her this is not the time for this. Talk then turns to the temperature of purgatory, and I was like, okay, I was right.
Was Boys to Men 3?
I don't know. Were they the 90s?
Late 80s, early 90s?
Lamar tells Paka that the temperature in purgatory is always...
Tony!
Lamar tells Paka that the temperature in purgatory is always 98 degrees. So she starts screaming, you gotta be true to your heart at the boys.
Oh my God.
Then she tells us that they have to save themselves in this one because she's not helping until one of them is mortally wounded.
We'll have to end a TikTok with that song.
Yeah.
All 98 degrees.
All 98 degrees. The guys are distracted by Paka screaming at them. Eventually, she falls into the fray and lets the monsters attack her, and even goes so far as to prevent the guys from saving her. She's basically trying to unlock their rage to force them to make a decision in unison, which is part of their powers. It's called a unity strike. The guys all feel the same emotion, just judging by body language, as they channel their anger, wrath, of watching their woman get her ass handed to her. The guys give Paka the absolute business after they channel this mega strike, once again, the unity strike, to defeat the monsters. She's just happy that Kai is hugging her and hopeful that their strike killed her meddling sister, Hera, but there's no such luck. We end the chapter with Paka feeling confident that her men won't fall when they have to face the beast. All right, so we're back in the 90s room trying to piece together clues that the old Paka may have left behind. Jude is back to being his angry boy self, and Kai is frustrated that he can't beat Super Mario. Soon enough, they're pulled to Purgatory to meet with the angel formerly known as Harold, who tells them that they're all going to the Pure Branch and they have to ride horses to get there. Paka hopes that hers is a unicorn, and she runs away from the group to find her steed, a beast named Fluffy.
What? Is it a unicorn?
No. Aww. Fluffy is, as it turns out, a bull. Have you ever seen The Last Unicorn?
It's been a long time, but yeah. Okay, so I used to love unicorns.
It's like the bull in The Last Unicorn. I know, it's been forever.
Yeah, it's been
so long. The bull that kills all the unicorns?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think I know.
Yeah, so Harold yells at everyone that time is...
Is it like a ghost?
Yes.
Kind of?
Yes, and he's very...
look at me!
And he's very angry.
Okay, I remember.
We'll put a picture of the bull here so that you're not confused. Harold yells at everyone that time is limited and they need to get a move on, so they do. They have to race to get out of Dodge before they're trapped there until the battle. While they're attempting to escape, they end up seeing the sheer size of this monster that they have to defeat. It takes up so much space, they're literally unable to see anything but the monster.
Wow.
Yeah. Paka leads the charge on Fluffy out of this area with the guys following close behind. They chat a bit with Harold about the upcoming battle before Jude siphons out to go to Paka. Ezekiel follows him quickly, leaving Kai engaged to deal with their horses. When he gets back to the 90s room, Jude and Paka are otherwise occupied. They're kissing, you sickos. She tells Jude that she needs him to be her favorite for a little bit, but Ezekiel interrupts them. Soon enough, all the guys are taking her away from each other. Gage is the last one to get a hold of her in this chapter, and he siphons them away before the other guys can try to take her so that he can have her to himself.
Aw. It's like, you're coming with me.
They're literally like grabbing her and like ripping her away from each other. And I was like, oh my God, violent.
Jeez. She's like, oh my God. I'm so...
Like, they love me. So Paka demands a meeting with Raphael to discuss a deal about her new plan to defeat Jal that involves neither of the triggers and could possibly ensure survival of the 4 horsemen, Paka, Heaven, and Hell. That's all that chapter is.
Oh.
This is when I was...
Pause for Peach.
Just in case it's picking her up. These are the chapters that I was reading at your house where it was all like in rapid succession.
Oh, they were really short.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Sweet.
So what's new?
Well, tattoo.
Father's Day is in June. Are we on results of Father's Day?
It always is in June.
Or Flag Day. These March birthdays.
Damn, FedEx, go away.
Move it! Oh, yay, Sean applied to be an auditor. Who knows if they'll ever...
Who?
Sean, at the Subway.
Sean?
We like him. He's a contractor. You don't know him.
I don't know him.
He's nice, though. He's
The only Sean I know is the one that used to work in the pay office of the Subway.
Oh.
He was a former tough guy.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. I think I could be this one's mom.
Aww.
He's a young'un.
How I feel.
But I think he's... So maybe he could be our best friend.
He could be.
Okay.
And scene. The next chapter is dedicated to them walking into battle, with Paka saying that the gooey beings who were the first trial must not have been informed of her name, and she prepares to take them down with her purple hellfire. There are these goo beings that are supposed to protect the monster, I guess. And they're also mindless, and they're the ones who chant, "Surrender yourself." All right, so the first part of the next chapter involves Paka telling the three guys who love her that she loves them too, and her reprimanding Jude for trying to force the love that he doesn't feel. She promises Gage that she will tell him that she loves him again when they're out of this battle. The rest of this chapter is the gearing up for the entrance of the monster, who tells them that they will die this day.
Ooh,
The beastie boy approaches in a humanoid form that Paka finds she isn't afraid of. She uses her little hand knives to cut off her hair as the beastie tells her to surrender herself. She smiles at him and goes, "You first." Yes.
Why did she cut off her hair?
I don't know.
Okay.
So that it wasn't in the way.
Like,
I don't know.
Was there a reason?
Because she's
Was she surrendering her hair?
Because it's like Mulan, I guess. You know, when she cuts off her hair. I don't know. You got to cut your hair off before you go to battle.
All right.
We weren't in the war, Kelly. We don't know.
Weren't.
We don't know.
I have a medal for it.
Wow.
But I wasn't there
I only have
directly.
NAMs. For those of you who are new here, that stands for Navy and Marine Corps Achievement Medal. Gold star in lieu of second award. Okay, so...
What's the bronze? Is that for 3? Gold? Bronze?
I forget. Is it bronze star first and then you get 1 gold star? Gold star in lieu of 5th award?
I don't know.
I'm a former person who should have been an expert in this. No one judge me.
We forget, okay? It's been a while.
It's been literally so long since I practiced my actual job in the Navy. Literally so long.
And then there's me, who works
Yeah.
at the Subway.
At the Subway, doing the same job that she did in the Navy.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first part of the fight scene is where Paka is throwing her knives over and over again at this beast, but not really inflicting any damage. Ezekiel feels helpless because eventually the beast does fight back a bit, but he realizes that he's going to be of no use to Paka if Ezekiel dies, because he's so busy paying attention to her that he's not really paying attention to what's going on around him. Paka is basically getting her ass kicked in this chapter, and then she has this moment with Jude where he tells her that she's not even weakening the monster yet, and she tells him not to give up on her yet. Then the monster pushes her, and she feels like she's falling forever as pain lances through her whole body.
Ooh.
Paka's not down for the count and is in fact ready to rain hell on this being, and does just that. She uses those little hand knives again and the power of the elements to absolutely obliterate the power, and then the guys use their unity strike over and over and over again until fissures and cracks start appearing all over the beast's body and it's screaming its head off. The guys are clearly exhausted, and the chapter ends with Paka looking very proud of herself and the guys. But there's bad news. Just like in video games, you cannot defeat the boss once. You do have to defeat the boss thrice.
Oh my
So
gosh.
she locks the guys out of the battlefield behind this like dome of sorts so they can still see what's happening as the monster resurrects.
Like respawns.
Yep. And she is basically going to have to, it seems, sacrifice herself for the second round of taking out this monster.
So like die at the same time.
Yeah. Yep.
But she will not respond.
So basically, this bitch sacrificed herself so that the guys could keep living. And this chapter is all of them basically struggling to figure out how to exist in a world where Paka does not.
Oh no!
Raphael comes down from the heavens, I guess, and tells them that the balance has been restored as has his compassion. And it makes him his compassion makes him feel very uncomfortable to tell the guys this, but she died so that they could live. Blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh my God, don't you ever tell grieving people that they died so you could live. Dude, I just think about like, if my husband were to die in war and they'd be like, he died so you could live.
You'd be like, fuck that.
I would scream in their face.
I believe it.
like in their face. Get off my porch. Kai says that she better fucking come back, and all of the guys seem to be in agreement. Also, I forgot to tell you that after she defeats the monster the first time, that's when she and Jude have the I love you moment. So that's what probably gave her the power to actually like kick his ass in the last chapter when she sacrificed herself.
Sacrifice.
Yeah. All right, now we're in the epilogue. Epilogue part 1. Ghost girl.
Oh my gosh.
So she comes back as a ghost, obviously, and Lamar can sense her. So he tells the guys, who she has been watching beat their own meat for the past 5.5 years.
Oh my gosh.
They stage a way for her to become a real girl in hell by having someone stab her. He, like, whoever it is, like, hits her in the cheek. I don't know how. It was really weird, and she, like, becomes whole. I didn't understand it, but whatever. It doesn't matter. This time around, the order that she sees the guys in, Jude is 1, Kai is 2, Ezekiel is 3, and Gage is 4. So it's reverse order. Okay. She also tells us that 4 is her least favorite for being the one who blows his load the soonest, and also who falls asleep while the other guys are trying to have their little masturbation sesh.
Oh my gosh.
Because they won't take another woman.
Because they know they love her.
Because they know they love her, and they remember her this time. So
but
they're like,
she doesn't remember them.
No.
Okay.
No. So she just has been watching them jerk it off
For another 5 years?
twice a week for the past 5.5 years.
Oh my gosh. Big old circle jerk.
Yep. Anyway, basically what happens when she's real is they do a repeat of the scene where they all do it for the first time in the second book where she's blindfolded. But this time they kind of have her spin in a circle and point to who's going to go.
Oh my gosh.
So she gets to pick the order like kids do.
Okay.
Gage is the third person that she engages with, but he's the one who takes the blindfold off of her. And I was like, you said that whoever was last was going to take the blindfold off of her. And he's like, oh, no, you're going to see me, but you're not going to know who's hitting that ass.
Oh my gosh.
The thing is, she doesn't really know that she's Paka. So every time they mention Paka, she gets really jealous.
Who is she?
But it's crazy because in this first moment, she has the I love you moment with them because it's so fresh for them.
And they're all that she knows.
Yeah.
So it's
like they love her already because they know that it's her.
Yeah.
So she's telling them all I love you too. And she's like, this is crazy, me telling I love you to this dude that I just met.
They can now say that they love her?
No.
Oh.
They have to do the
I thing.
The I thing. Oh yeah, she says the I love you moment. Once everybody's had their turn, Jude tells her they're just getting started and they end up going to town off page. And then there's an epilogue part 2, which is 5 years later, told from Gage's perspective. In this little epilogue, she knows that she's Paka and they're attempting to go through more trials. And I was like, more trials?
Is it every time she's alive? There's like an imbalance?
I guess so.
I mean, that would make sense.
And then they're like, you know what? Fuck that. We're running away and living our very best life together without the drama of fighting for our lives anymore. So rating was once again 3, spice 2, horniness like a 3. This one felt more plot heavy than the other books, and I wasn't mad about it. I just kind of wish that the battle sequence hadn't felt so like rushed. It felt like we were speed running to the end, if you catch my drift.
Yeah, like let's just close it up.
Yeah, but she said
it's getting long.
Yeah, but the author in the author's note said that she might be having more books, not from like them though, like in that same universe. And I was like, I think I'm done.
Oh,
I think I'm done. We're good.
those are fun.
They're fun. So all that to say, if you haven't joined the Smut Clurb already, we're reading Caught Up by Liz Tomford. Join us on Fable. We will be going live at some point.
Sometime next week.
FedEx is driving past. It probably won't be because...
Didn't you talk about going live?
Oh, no. I mean live for the Smut Clurb book.
Oh, yes.
We'll be going live for the Smut Clurb book once Peach shuts the fuck up.
Just on a beat. Oh, they're just stopped across the street.
Gone are the days where she would just be quiet.
Peach! Next Tuesday or Wednesday after 5. Or Thursday.
Let me see what day Eric has duty.
Okay.
Because that'll probably be the easiest. I think it'll be Wednesday.
Okay.
Or Tuesday. I have to ask him. I'll ask him while we wait for her to finish barking at everything.
That video's at 200 views already.
Oh, nice.
7 likes.
Okay, so anyway, we will go live on Twitch and TikTok to do the Smut Clurb book at some point. I'm going on vacation by the time you see this, I will be back from vacation, but I'm going on vacation. Kelly's going on vacation. So it's going to be a minute before we can do the live episode.
Yeah, probably April.
We're going to try to go live on TikTok for Reading Accountability Hour while I'm on vacation. But we'll see what happens. It's going to depend on my husband's schedule.
Yeah.
He takes priority over you guys. I'm so sorry. And then if you have any suggestions for what we should read, let us know in a comment. Like, subscribe, follow for more. We're going to go watch Heated Rivalry.
And swoon.
And I'm going to eat chips.
Ooh, me too.
And Kelly's going to eat chips too. Okay, thanks.
Bye.
Bye.